Cross your fingers, everybody. The MLB is coming back, pending that the health situation doesn't get worse. I'm excited. I'm real excited because it's going to be a crazy ride. For those of you who don't really follow baseball, here's how it usually is. It's a 162 game season. You usually play about 20 or so games between your division. You maybe play 2 or 3 teams in the other league, meaning if you're in the National League, you only play like 3 or 4 American League teams a year, if even that. And then, yeah, it's the best out of 162 games. There's only a designated hitter, which means a guy who hits for the pitcher in the American League. And there's 10 playoff teams. That's the way it used to be. This year is going to be completely crazy. It's going to be a 60-game season, not 162, 60. There's going to be 102 less games of baseball this year, which means every game matters so much significantly more. There's a lot of stuff that's not finalized now, but here's how it looks. Take the Cubs, for example. They are in the National League Central Division. So in their division is the Pirates, Reds, Brewers, Cardinals. They will play all of those teams 10 times, I think, and then you go to the other league's Central Division, the American League Central Division, which would be the Indians, White Sox, Royals, Tigers, and then one other team that I can't think of off the top of my head. But they would play those teams like 4 to 6 times. The Cubs are not going to play the Dodgers in the regular season. They're not going to play the Nationals, Mets, Braves. It's going to be very interesting because there are going to be a lot of good teams that don't face off until the postseason. Now, as far as the postseason goes, there's going to be still 10 teams, the 3 division winners and then 2 wild cards. But with some of the projections I've been seeing, there could be like a 5-way tie for 1 wild card. We could see multiple play-in games like we have the last few years. We've been blessed as baseball fans to see play-in games for the last 2 years in the National League, if I remember correctly. And here's the real interesting part. There's going to be a universal DH, which means the National League will not have their pitchers hit, Well, Joe Madden for the Angels is probably going to have Shohei Ohtani be the designated hitter anyway, just because he's a pitcher who can hit, but that's aside the point. Universal DH. That means that a lot more players are going to get a lot more chances to bat, and that could affect their careers down the line. Now, one guy that I'm a fan of, and one guy that's new to the Cubs, is Steven Souza Jr. And he has not played a full season of baseball in 2 years because he's had, I think, knee injury? Yeah, that sounds right. But David Ross, the Cubs manager, says that he's going to put Souza in the DH spot a lot because Souza's a very good hitter. He hit like high 200s, low 300s, and then 30-plus home runs his last full season when he was with Tampa Bay. So Madden's just going to have him do a lot of the DHing. Schwarber will probably do some of that as well. But having only 60 games, there's a saying that the 162-game season is a marathon, not a sprint. This is going to be a 60-game sprint. This is going to be like the shortest MLB season on record in God knows how long. It's over 100 years. And here's another interesting thing. There's going to be an extra innings rule. So Major League Baseball has 9-inning games. And each extra inning is going to start with a runner on second base. So that runner will be in the batter in the lineup immediately preceding that inning's leadoff hitter. So the guy leading off the inning, the guy before him in the batting order is going to be the guy on second base, which is going to be crazy because then that's going to influence a lot of scoring, and there might be ties in the record, which will throw off the standings so much. Don't even get me started on ties. Ooh, here's a new one that I have not seen. Pitchers can use a wet rag to keep their fingers moist instead of licking their fingers. That's probably to like keep the balls uncontaminated. That's smart. I have not seen that one yet. I'm looking up a Yahoo article right now that I read the other day. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't like this rule change. So before all the health stuff happened, there was a change in the rule book a year and a half ago that's going to be implemented this season. There is going to be a 3-batter rule for relief pitchers. So you can't just have a relief pitcher come in and pitch against one guy and be done. He's got to face at least 3 guys unless he like gets hurt. So that will be interesting as well. Okay, as far as safety measures go, players are prohibited from making deliberate contact with any other player aside from making tags. No high fives, fist bumps, no hugging. Banned from spitting. Discouraged from showering at the ballpark after games. No fights or tirades at umpires. Well, that's going to suck because I personally don't like umpires. That's just me. Any player or manager who comes within 6 feet of an umpire or an opponent during a dispute will be ejected. So if you go within 6 feet of an ump without absolutely having to, you're going to get ejected. Ooh, I did not read that beforehand. That should be interesting. Okay, how will testing work? Players and staffers will be tested 3 or 4 days before arriving at camp. Players are going to arrive at camp on July 1st. I'm not sure when I'm going to put out this video, but July 1st is when everybody arrives or has arrived to camp in their respective cities, because Arizona and Florida are where all of the spring training parks are for all 30 teams, but both of those states you're seeing significant spikes in cases. So each team is just going to do their exhibition games, spring training 2.0 games in their home cities. So like Boston will be at Fenway Park, Cubs will be at Wrigley, Dodgers will be at Dodger Stadium, so on and so forth. But yeah, arrive 3 to 4 days before arriving at camp. They'll undergo a temperature check, saliva or nose swab test, and a blood test for antibodies 2 days before reporting to camp. During the season, they'll have their temperature and symptoms checked twice a day, while Tier 1 individuals, players in uniforms, will take saliva tests every other day, so every 2 days. If anybody tests positive, any player, staffer tests positive or has a temperature above 100.4 degrees must self-isolate. Those who test positive must have two subsequent negative tests at least 24 hours apart before being allowed to return. Again, I'm getting all this off of a Yahoo article. All of this information is not concrete yet. I think that's all the big stuff. So it's going to be a wild ride. So the first regular season games are going to start the weekend of July 23rd, 24th. They haven't chosen which day those will start. And then the season will go for about 2 months towards end of September. Trade deadline is going to be August 31st. So if anybody wants to make any trades, that's when it needs to happen. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to zero in on the Cubs for a second. I don't know, man. Last year was ugly. Last year ended ugly. We lost like 10 of our last 12 or something stupid like that. And at the beginning of the year, we were projected to finish... Were we projected to finish 3rd or 4th in the division? I think we were projected to finish 4th. And I laughed my head off at that, and I think we finished 3rd or 4th. So, supposedly, the Reds are supposed to be wicked good this year, and I believe that because they got Nicholas Castellanos. I don't want to talk about it. We should have kept Castellanos, but don't get me started on that. That's a whole separate video. The Reds have Castellanos, Puig. I think they got Mike Moustakas too. Yeah, the Reds are absolutely loaded this year. If they can get their pitching under control, they will have a good shot. Actually, you know what? Why don't I look up projected, standings for this year? I wonder if the MLB has that on their Instagram page anywhere. Here's something. As far as the MLB power rankings go this year, the Cubs are 8th on the list. And as far as these power rankings go, It goes Yankees, Dodgers, Athletics, Rays, Twins, Astros, Braves, Cubs, Nationals, Cardinals. So if I am reading these standings correctly, the Cubs are going to be, according to these power rankings, the Cubs would be the 3 seed. So they'd be the lowest division winner. And then the Nationals and Cardinals would face off in Washington for the wild card on the National League side, which means the Cubs would face the Braves in the first round of the playoffs. And the Braves are absolutely loaded offensively. Like, they've got, Acuna, Albies, Markakis, a bunch of other guys, Austin Riley. They are offensively loaded. If they tune up their pitching rotation, they will win a World Series in these next few years. I am like programmed in my brain to hate the Dodgers because of 2015 and how the 2015 was the Mets. 2017 is when the Dodgers beat us. The Dodgers have given us a run for our money in the postseason a lot, but honestly, I feel bad for them because in 2017, they lost to the Astros, who were cheating. And then in 2018, they lost to the Red Sox, who were allegedly cheating. So, and now they have Mookie Betts. And Kershaw's on the tail end of his career because, his back is screwed up. So if the Dodgers don't win the World Series this year, they're not going to win. They don't deserve to win if they don't win this year because all the cheaters are going to be weeded out. There's only going to be 60 games. It is going to be a Dodgers-Yankees World Series. And as good as the Yankees are, the Dodgers can beat them because the Dodgers have better pitching than the Yankees. Well, the Yankees have Cole, though. And the Dodgers lost by 8. I forgot about that. Regardless, it's going to be crazy because we could end up with something crazy like a Tampa Bay Rays Chicago Cubs World Series. Like, I'm going to be real. If the Cubs had a 162-game season this year, they would probably sneak into the wild card, be lucky to win the wild card, and then get creamed by the Dodgers or something like that. But this year, all bets are off this year. It is going to be a 60-game sprint. Teams are going to be doing crazy stuff. I'm so excited because I've been on baseball withdrawal for months now. And thank God I'm calling Linmar baseball games I'm getting paid to broadcast Linmar baseball games now. And I've been commentating on the last few and I've had a blast of fun doing that. But now I get to watch professional baseball again that's not in Korea. So that's going to be fantastic. That's going to start in about a month. So, okay, that's about all I got. Just kind of a off the top of my head kind of video. I've been wanting to dive into this for a while now, but thank you guys for watching this video on the 60-game MLB season, and I'll see y'all when I see you. Bye-bye.